Hello, race fans, and welcome once again to another high-octane episode of Trackside, proudly presented by Document Technologies. Document Technologies provides a comprehensive range of managed solutions, including multifunction devices, managed print services, and document management software. They're also known for their fast service, boasting an average response time of 2 hours or less, and offer high-quality product multifunction devices alongside document management and cloud hosting software. Stay tuned, racing enthusiasts, because the action starts right now, right here on Trackside.
Well, hello, everybody. Good evening. It's Trackside here with Randy and Terry, and you might know that Terry's not with us today. He's got another conflict and couldn't be on the program, so I'm doing this here from Atlanta, and just want to welcome everybody and thank you for continuing to listen to us. Going to change up the format a little bit this week. We've got three really great interviews that we've done over this past year, and particularly as we get close to the 4th of July holiday, celebrating our country and our independence. We did an interview a few months back with the Duggar Band, and they are a great group. And they did a fantastic song called True Colors. And they kind of got slighted, honestly, in Nashville by a TV station who thought that having them on and doing that song was somehow too political. And I, quite frankly, don't understand that. So the first interview you're going to hear is Terry and I doing an interview with the Duggar Band about their song and just about how they think and feel and their patriotism. And then we've got two more. Last week we did an interview with Nate Bulow, who is the marketing manager for Ram, and he is bringing back Ram along with Tim Kuniskis to the sport of NASCAR. That announcement was June the 8th in Michigan. And I can tease a little bit and say there'll probably be another announcement here coming in the next few weeks about with what team. So that's an interview you don't want to miss. And then finally, back around the time of Texas, and the CW network is new to the Xfinity Series in terms of the entire season. Their numbers have been phenomenal. They continue to do great production. The audience is large. I think all but one race so far this year has been over 1 million viewers, well over 1 million viewers. Very consistent about when the race is on, although today is a little different because we're on a Friday night and we're on at 7:30. But they've just done a remarkable job, and when you hear this interview, and this was done out in Dakota, Austin, Texas, you'll understand why they're having the success that they have. So we'll get back to the regular format next week. Terry's fine. Don't anybody worry about him. He's good. But we wanted to give you a little bit of a different twist. And we thank you for listening. And hopefully you enjoy this version of Trackside.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have been letting you hear a great song called True Colors on all of our country stations, St. Augustine and Daytona. And we're very, very fortunate right now to have Jordan and Seth Duggar from the Duggar Band on the Trackside program. Hey, guys, how we doing?
Good. How are you?
We're doing good, and we're excited to have you. How about that?
Thanks for having us on. We're excited about it.
Hey,
fantastic.
This is Randy, and I've talked to those guys a couple different times, Terry, and they're great. I mean, I wish we had an hour and a half to talk with them because their background and what they've done and what they continue to do is just amazing. And maybe we'll have a minute to talk about that. But, we played, by the way, guys, we played the song last week on our program. So folks could have a little bit of an idea of what we're going to talk about this week. And great response and just happy to have you. So I think the first question I've got is, who wrote it? Let's start there. Who wrote the song?
Well, this is Seth. My brother and I, we both co-wrote this song with a couple of our friends in Nashville. Well, they became friends now, but when we wrote this song, it was the first time meeting them, which was kind of odd. We went into a session that was set up by NSAI in Nashville, and just kind of got to know him for a little bit. Then we wrote this song, and this is the first one that came out, but it's Chris Crepeau and Jesse Felder. So my brother and I, and then us two, the other two guys wrote it. So yeah, we were excited about it. Turns out that Jesse had served in Afghanistan in the mid-2000s, and the other guy, Chris, he kind of threw out the idea of doing a patriotic song. We'd always wanted to write a patriotic song, but it would just never, was the right fit. We wanted to make sure that it was a good song, because you don't want to write a patriotic song that's just going to, not be a solid one. And it just seemed like all the stars aligned, and God was really in that writing session, I think, and it just kind of all came together for that one, and it was a fun time.
Well, I listened to it, the first time, and I was like, wow. I mean, really wow. Like God bless the USA kind of wow.
Thanks, man.
And then learn more about the nonsense that's around it, which could be one of the biggest breaks you ever got in your life, honestly, right?
Yes, sir.
And then I read the lyrics over and over again, and then I go, okay, I'm scratching my head. Tell us about how what I'm referring to.
Well, we were promoting the song because we released it at the end of January officially, and we were going around to different media outlets promoting the new single, and our publicist at the time had got us scheduled on a Nashville television station for the morning show, and we were set to perform the song with our whole band. They were going to be coming in and playing the song, and we received an email on Monday evening, and we were supposed to perform on Wednesday morning of this week, that all this happened. And we received an email saying that they were looking forward to having us, but we need to choose a different song because True Colors, in their opinion, was politically biased, and they just couldn't cross a political line as a news station. And so that caught us off guard. We immediately knew we weren't going to just play a different song, because that kind of defeats the purpose of, us standing up for the country that we live in. And they never did explain what they viewed as being politically biased, so we still don't know, how they interpreted the song and what their thoughts on it were. But we just chose not to do it. And then a lot of people got behind us because we just kind of went on and made an announcement about us not doing the show, because several of our fans were expecting us to be on it. And then so many people, John Rich was the first person to hop on and get behind us, and he actually produced the song. And so when he found out about this, he was very upset by it, and so he helped push it, and within a couple of days we hit the top of the iTunes charts in all genres with this song for downloads, which we've never done that before. So that was a crazy turnaround in a couple of days.
Well, and you don't know me that well, but that John Rich and I know each other, and he's pretty plain speaker, right? I think you would have to admit that he kind of pretty much tells it like it is.
Right.
And that's me. And I cannot understand what political line it crosses. I think if you are patriotic and you don't like somebody who's patriotic, then you could say it's too patriotic for me. I don't know if there is such a thing
right.
as too patriotic, but I don't. As a matter of fact, I would just say it this way: I thought when I read it, it was such an appropriate song lyric, and I'm no expert. I'm just a regular guy who likes music, right? I can't play a lick, and you don't want me to sing. But I thought it was more. I thought it was more bringing people together than it was separating. I thought it was I thought the timing was incredible, because we're going from a time of great division, trying to bring a bit of unity back together. And I don't know how anybody can argue with red, white, and blue as being the true colors.
Right.
It doesn't say red. It says red, white, and blue.
Right.
And that is wouldn't it be good if we all rallied around red, white, and blue and not just red or blue?
That's right. Yeah, and that's kind of the reason that we wrote the song is, we wanted to write something that would bring people together, and that was our vision for this song. And we're proud to be Americans. We're proud to be from the United States. We think that this is the best country that you could live in. We've had the privilege of going to some other countries, and frankly, I'd rather live here than anywhere else in the world. And I'm proud of that, and that's what we wanted to represent in this song. And I'm proud of how this song did come together, because I think that represents how we truly feel. And for that station to say what they did, it just kind of took us back. We didn't expect that at all, but they took it there. And thankfully, God had bigger plans for everything, and was able to get the message of the song out there even further than it would have if we just done that show.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to say. If you don't want to, it's okay. You can send me the address, and I'll send them a thank you note, because I think this was a great. This opposition has turned into something. We just got done talking. You probably didn't get to hear it, but my son's race last weekend in Miami. They had a lot of adversity to overcome, and victory. And we didn't win the race, but we finished in the top 10, and that feeling is far more satisfying when you have a little bit of a headwind that you got to get over. And I think you guys are, this is like a shot, some adversity that's going to turn into something really, really good for you. And I'm working hard. I don't lose hope. We still got some time between now and May 31st in Nashville, and I hope to be able to do a really cool thing for you guys there. We're looking forward to being able to do it, so we're working on it.
Yeah, we appreciate the support, and thanks for getting the word out about our song and trying to come up with ideas to help us. It's because people like you all that's really helping this thing turn into something big, and we're just proud to be a part of it. We're proud to be a part of this country, and as musicians, we feel like it's the least we can do is just to put a song out that talks about how great the USA is, and we just hope that every American can be proud of that.
Well, guys, just some feedback that we've gotten from both our country stations has been huge. Our programming people, of course, when I sent the song to them that Randy sent me, we were really excited to put it on. And again, we've gotten great feedback. And I kind of get a feeling from you on why the song came out. But I'd like to dig a little deeper. What really inspired this? You got 4 guys in the room. One guy had been in Afghanistan. What really inspired this song in the way that it came out, and just dig a little deeper on that. Tell me more.
Well, I think growing up, our dad was he did Southern gospel music with his family, and they toured around and the Southeast and got on the big bus. And whenever me and Jordan were really little, we remember those times and getting to be on that bus with them when we were kids, and then also hearing stories about it. And that kind of is what sparked the dream in us. Now, our dad he graduated high school in 1985, and around that time was when God Bless the USA came out. And his teachers came to him and asked him if he would sing that song at the graduation. And so his high school was pretty big, and so the graduating class and all the parents and everything combined was probably about 7,000 or 8,000 people. And so he sang God Bless the USA at his graduation, right as that song was really popular when it first came out. And so his group, the Southern Gospel Group, his family, they sang that song at most all of their shows. All the churches that they performed at and sang at, they did that song. And we remember just as kids watching how that song particularly went over with the audience, and just how much pride there was to be an American. And that Lee Greenwood did an amazing job with that song. And so growing up, we always saw that and recognized it. And then as we became artists ourselves, we always knew that we wanted to write something that would pursue that. And if it was just, in the same stratosphere as a song like Toby Keith's or a song like Lee Greenwood's, then, that would be an honor for us. And so we've always wanted to write something. And like I was saying earlier, we just wanted to make sure it was the right situation. And thankfully, I think that this one just came together, and, God gave this song to us at the right time. And I think everything works out in the timing that he has allotted for it. And I just I'm proud of this song, and I'm thankful that God gave it to us and we were able to come up with it. But yeah, it's just something that's really special to us, and we're just thankful that we were able to do it.
Well, it's
You
like
know
a
that our
tradition you guys have come up with. And speaking of tradition, you guys are from Greenville, Tennessee, the Smoky Mountains. A couple other pretty well-known artists have come from that area, Dolly Parton and Kenny Chesney. You guys are just carrying the torch, right?
Yes, sir. There's a lot of great artists that have come from East Tennessee, a lot of great musicians and singers and writers. And so we're happy to grow up in that area and be exposed to great music at an early age. And, you know, it's a dream of ours to get to do some songs with those people in the future. So hopefully, you know, this will lead to maybe some of that happening down the road.
You know how
Randy?
patriotic the NASCAR community is, all right? I'm sure you're familiar with that.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
So you need to make sure that, please don't hesitate to get on, tag along on our Facebook as well and our social media pages. And we want to get the word out for you and with you. And I think if more people decide to take exception to what your work is, you've got a great career ahead of you, because that was a stroke of brilliance, in my opinion. That person decided that you didn't fit the narrative of a news station. I'm obviously I'm being a little bit facetious, but I do think it's great, and I love the song, and I would have loved the song had I not known the story, but now I really love the song.
Oh, thank you.
So wind it up. Tell everybody how they can find you.
Our website's duggerband.com. That's DUGGERBAND.com. So you can find links to merch, tickets, our social media platforms through there, or you can just search Dugger Band on pretty much any social media platform, whatever you use the most, and find us there. It still helps us if you download the single off iTunes. It's $1.29 to download, but that just helps push the song out to more people. And then obviously streaming it anywhere that you stream music, it should be available. So that helps us out a ton, and we just appreciate the support. And thank you guys for helping us promote this thing.
Guys, the American people are awful proud of you guys. We're proud of you, and we sure appreciate you taking the time to be with us today on Trackside.
Hey, thank you so much. We really appreciate y'all having us. Thank you.
Introducing the all-new tractor and outdoor power equipment section at DeLand Motorsports and Outdoors. Now you can gear up for your outdoor projects with premium brands like Bobcat, Massey Ferguson, Shindaiwa, Echo, and more. Need a powerful lawnmower for that perfectly manicured lawn? They've got it. How about a rugged tractor to tackle those big projects? DeLand Motorsports and Outdoors has you covered. And let's not forget the Lawn and Garden Center with everything from weed whackers to chainsaws. Commercial or residential, DeLand Motorsports and Outdoors has the goods to keep you moving. So why settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary? Visit DeLand Motorsports and Outdoors today at their new location and explore the thrilling world of outdoor power equipment. DeLand Motorsports and Outdoors, where the thrill of the ride meets the power of the great outdoors. Your journey begins here.
We right now have a very exciting guest with us on the line. A guest that I've kind of been hoping for and wishing for and looking forward to talking to for about 3 years. Ladies and gentlemen, we're really excited to have Nate Bulow. He is Chief Marketing Director at Ram Trucks. Nate, welcome to Trackside. Very excited to have you, sir.
Thank you very much for having me. Excited to talk to both of you fine gentlemen.
Well, Randy has probably told you, and I'll let Randy kick off first, but I've been beating on him about this subject for about 3 years to the point of I think I about drove him crazy. So, Randy, kind of tell us a little bit about what has happened here. We've been kind of talking about it since it came to the public, but I'm gonna let you have Nate here, and then I got some questions for him.
Yep. So I wanted to say this first. Nate's got so many responsibilities at the Ram brand. And one of them that I appreciate the most is he takes it so seriously about how our customers view the Ram brand. And so this is me talking for a moment as a dealer, as a Ram dealer, and I'm fired up about that. I've been fired up about being a Ram dealer, a Dodge dealer for years, and and so I've had the privilege really to work with Nate in different capacities. I think he's maybe like 15 years in now. Is that right, Nate, with Stellantis?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep. So for me, I've got to watch him. I've got to see him move around in that company, and the timing of where we are right now, and Nate being in the seat that he's in right now. I'm going to tell you, with the announcement and how Nate choreographed this whole thing in Michigan, a couple weeks ago now, was remarkable. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but he's a pleasure. He's one of those guys that doesn't get out in front, out in the public eye. But boy, I'm going to tell you, he's a great guy to have on our team and advocating for our customers, the dealers, and now Ram race fans. So welcome, Nate.
No, thank you guys, and way too complimentary of an introduction from Randy, but I'll take it. It was a big team that pulled that whole thing off, starting with my boss and Tim Kaniskis, but God bless it. I hope you guys liked it as much as we did seeing the end product.
Well, Nate, I got to tell you, you had me jumping up and down on my living room furniture. How in the world, I mean, what a genius way you unveiled the truck, the burnout, the whole shooting match that you did, and the crowd went wild at Michigan and all over the world that are watching it. I mean, wow, what a great job. How'd you come up with such a great idea, man?
Well, I think it all starts with our boss at the top, Tim Kaniskis. I mean, he's one of my favorite people of all time, and he's one of the wildest bosses you could ever have to work for. But his ability to think outside the box, as Randy said earlier, find ways to connect with not only our customers, but the millions of NASCAR fans all over the world that they're looking for something big, loud, and exciting. There's a reason why we all like motorsports, right? It's different. There's something visceral about it. And we tried to kind of boil that down into this little stunt, and it went through a million iterations before it got to that, and it was phenomenal to see it all actually come to life. But not the first time we've done something wild and crazy to reveal a car, as Randy knows. So more to come as we get more stuff. So,
Randy, I don't see how you two guys kept it a secret. Talk to us, both of you guys. Talk to us a little bit about that, because you did a good job. I didn't even know anything about the truck being built. You guys just, Randy, you wouldn't even tell me nothing. So tell me how you guys kept it such a secret.
I mean, I think we were, that's kind of the agreement that we have. We work together, but whatever the rule is, and this one was, it's a secret. And I will tell you something funny. I mean, Nate a while back, not that, I guess it was probably, 3 months ago, Nate, something like that. He says, hey, I need you to get me a truck. And I said, okay, well, what do you mean? You got all the trucks in the world. He says, well, no, I mean a NASCAR truck. Okay, all right, well, we can build you a NASCAR truck. That's fine. We'll get it done. And but what he said was, here's what he said. He said, we need a show truck. And I said, well, see, here's where this is what's real important about this: the definition of show. Okay. So a show truck is like we take it to a show, or we put it in a static display, or we, just kind of, it's a part of some bigger event. What I forgot about Nate and his boss is that's not the way they see a show. So it was a miscalculation on my part. And so I was sweating bullets on Sunday in Michigan, afraid that this thing was going to break because of what they were doing with it. But You know, it happened, but that was something that Nate and I, and really that was the two of us. That was us, conspired and perspired and ground our guts over, and they pulled it off so beautifully. I can't even tell you.
You guys put on quite a show with that show truck, Nate. No doubt about it.
We tried. I think Randy had a sheep pull in mind, and we showed up with donuts and run around Darlington with our wonderful CEO behind the wheel. But again, I think that's the ethos of not just Randy. He's one of the best dealer partners that we have, and a phenomenal partner over the years on many different things. But it's kind of the ethos of, I would say, even just how our corporate culture works. At the end of the day, we're a big company. We employ thousands of American workers all across the country, and the team knew how important this thing was, and they didn't want it to get out any more than we didn't want it to get out. And anybody that was involved, touched this, had their hands in it, they knew how special this moment could be to return to NASCAR and get back on the track and showcase to all the millions of motorsports fans that are out there in a very special way. And I think that was a part of it. And, having great dealer partners that can help us like Randy, as well as great employees that worked across design to build that front end on the truck and the rear end on the truck, to fabricating it all, to all the stunt folks that we had to pull this thing off. It was really a team effort that came off incredibly well in the end. As Randy said, stressed us out a little bit getting there, but it's just how important it is for everybody that's involved in it from a Ram Dodge perspective.
Well, I must say, and I bet both of you probably enjoyed, I know I did, especially after it was unveiled, watching the media speculate, Randy and Nate, over the past 6 months or so. This is going to happen, and that's going to happen, and this is the date, and it was quite entertaining to watch. I mean, it's like, a NASCAR race, you can't predict the outcome, but the media sure tries. You guys did such a good job of keeping it a secret. It's amazing.
No, thank you.
Well, I think, just to be clear, I think Nate said it best. I think those few people who were a part of getting this truck and getting the creative and the way it was to be introduced to the public, it didn't get lost on those folks about how unique and special this could be if it was contained, and I think that was a, no pun intended, but a driving force in making sure the way that we went about it. And I, look, in Michigan, I was a fan, man. I mean, I was a fan. I got a front row seat to watch, and I will say this, if you listen to, and I have the benefit and the privilege of working with these guys, and there's nothing they don't do that is intentional, that isn't intentional. Every single thing that they do is intentional. And they weave all of the initiatives through this, and so at the end of the day, it's about business, and it's about giving a team. I said this to you, I think, last week, Terry, and I think Nate can echo this and probably has some comments. But there's a lot of good things that happen at the Ram brand. A lot of good things. So many good things that go on there. But when you're not in NASCAR, I mean, that's like saying all the good things are going on in New York City, and then decide that you don't need the Yankees anymore. When Ram no longer was racing, that was just hard to take. I think Nate knows our customers better than anybody, but our customers didn't like it, right, Nate?
Yeah, I think that's fair, Randy. And at the end of the day, you two will know NASCAR now better than I'll ever get to know it in my lifetime. But I'm getting better at it as we keep going down this path. But Randy's absolutely right. The one thing I think that we try to think about at Ram, and it really comes from the top down, is putting our customers first. What do our customers want out of us? Terry, you saw, hey, we revealed Hemi that week, and we said we're bringing back the Hemi V8 and the production trucks. We all wanted it, our customers wanted it, and we made it happen in record time. we heard the exact same thing from our fans about NASCAR. Why aren't you guys there? Why aren't you racing in America's motorsport? And you know what? We made that happen, too, with a lot of help from Randy and a lot of other folks that were a part of that machine. We heard the same thing about our warranty. That was our other big announcement this week on launching America's best truck warranty, going to a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty as folks are taking longer and longer loans out on their product. It really does all ladder up, and as Randy said, everything that we do is intentional, but it's intentional to deliver what our customers expect from us and hopefully get a few more customers along the way. That's the ultimate goal.
Well, I can certainly see that happening, no doubt about it. I've been a Ram truck fan for many, many years, as Randy can tell you. Before we let you go, I know you're a race fan and you're getting better at it all the time. There's a lot to learn with NASCAR. I'm still learning as well, still learning from Randy. But how do you see the future as we roll into NASCAR, and what do you see unfolding as we go?
Yeah, I see the future as bright. The exhibition that we put on at Michigan International Speedway was truly just the beginning. So if you thought that was wild and crazy, wait till you see and hear half of the ideas that we're able to actually execute as we start to be on track in February next year. But I don't say that just because we want to be attention-getting and all that stuff. At the end of the day, racing is serious business, and we expect to win. We expect to be out on track, competing for wins with the trucks and continuing to grow our brand and grow the sport along with it. The other piece that I just want to make sure I clue in on is what a great partner that NASCAR has been in bringing us back and welcoming us back with all these wild and crazy things. Every single member of the NASCAR team that we worked with was incredible to work with, and they've been great stewards of not only their brand but our brand and how we promote this. And why I tell you all that big drama backstory is I think the future is incredibly bright as we think about both on track, off track, and the fan zone and the experiences that we're able to provide, the mainstream coverage of having a NASCAR truck in our national TV campaign. Again, it's all intentional to not only grow our brand, sell more trucks, make sure our dealers have more customers, but really growing the sport because it means something to all of us. Now, it was a much different experience for me being on the infield, seeing a truck do donuts at the start-finish line than normally with a cold beverage in my hand up in the stands. But it was incredible, and I can't wait to work with NASCAR and how we can help attract more fans, grow the sport, and obviously sell more vehicles.
Well, last thing, just such great timing. I mean, the truck will be on the track next year. The Ram truck will be on the showroom floors across the nation in dealerships, and now with the 10-year warranty. I mean, how wonderful and smart is that, guys?
It's what their customers want. Yeah. You know,
Go ahead,
I think well, and I want to say something too. One of the things about Nate, Tim, the team there, the Ram brand, you know, you have to understand. There's not another truck that's being sold in the United States by any OEM with that warranty. So they're not trying to meet others' standards. They just set a brand new standard. That's a big deal.
Boy, it sure is. There's no doubt about that. Nate, thank you very much for taking your time. And again, one that's been crazy about this for at least 3 years. Thank you so much for making our wishes come true. NASCAR fans' wish come true. The excitement level of the 2026 season with the Ram truck on the track and a 10-year warranty. God bless you, man. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today.
No, thank you very much to both of you for the time, and I really appreciate it.
Meanwhile, speaking of exciting, Randy, our guest has arrived, and we have Emmy Award-winning sports executive and Senior Vice President of CW Sports, Jason Wormser, on the line with us. Jason, welcome to Trackside, brother.
Hello. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
You bet. Say hello to Randy. He's sitting right there with us.
Hi, Randy.
Yeah, good to be with you, and thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you making time for us.
Sure. I want to say before I start, I have Daytona Beach connections. My niece lives in Ormond Beach, and her husband, Michael Snapshire, he works over at Cole Cobb, and he's also an ambassador for the 500. So he's right. You guys have the red coats.
That's part of the checkered flag committee. He's a great guy, by the way.
Yeah, and he escorts the Grand Marshal every year on 500 Sunday, and I was supposed to be, I was there last year as a guest because we were just starting a relationship with NASCAR, and of course the rain came and blew everything out, and I had to get back because of business. So, but we would have been in the same area with The Rock. I wanted to see The Rock, not because of wrestling, because I'm a big University of Miami football fan, and he was there. We could have shared stories, but anyway, that's my Daytona Beach connection.
Well, that's a great connection. I get to spend some time with him on different community organizations. He's a great supporter of the community, and he has to walk a good line because of your niece keeps him in line.
She does. She keeps him in line. They're good people.
Well, so I got to just tell you before we get into too much of the questions. I just, as a fan, and I say a fan, I'll be 65 years old in May, and I've been watching this sport since I was a little kid. The CW network, the little bit of testing, I guess, that you did last year, and the beginning of this season has really been just so good. The idea that the Xfinity Series is exclusive to your network, that makes it easy for the fans. The start times, the way you're covering the sport, I'm thrilled. I mean, and as you know, or may not know, but my son races in the Xfinity Series too, and the people that follow him and follow the sport, it's been nothing but positive, just super positive. So congratulations.
Well, appreciate that. And before I go deeper into kind of the genesis of all this stuff, so I had an opportunity Memorial Day weekend last year. Adam Alexander and I played golf with your son, and we were just at his golf club. He invited me out. And he goes, "Hey, would you mind if a couple of guys just showed up and played with us?" I go, "No, bring them on. That's great." And he goes, "Well, here's Daniel Dye." I go, "Oh, he rushes into the Truck Series," and he couldn't have been better. Just great young man. We had a really good time. He like myself were spraying the ball all over the place, but we had a good time. And he's a delightful young man, and we're really happy and thrilled that he's involved in the Xfinity Series.
Well, we appreciate that. That's fantastic. So, so how can you give us a little? We'll kind of just turn it over and let you say how this happened and what you're bringing to it. What's the vision, and maybe just tell us a little bit about what's going on from the CW network side. And I hope you're happy. I'm telling you this much: you're making the fans happy and the drivers happy.
We're thrilled with the beginning, with the viewership, the feedback, the ratings has been through the roof. We're really, really excited about it. We just want to keep building momentum every week, and we hope people just keep watching, right? Because there's an ebb and flow to the series. Obviously, now we're going to COTA and road racing, completely different than the first 2 weeks of super speedways. But let's go back to when we signed the deal, and it was our boss, the COO of Nexstar. So CW is owned by Nexstar Media. And Michael Beard was thinking, what's a good way to get ahead of the game here a little bit? And he reached out he and Rick Cordella are friends, and Rick Cordella is the president of NBC Sports. And Rick had an issue because he had too much content last fall. They not only did they have Notre Dame football, but they were beginning their relationship with the Big Ten. So there was Big Ten football on top of it. So they had so much stuff going on that they just couldn't find the space to put it on linear television. So we made a deal with them, and we sub-licensed the races, the last 8 races, beginning in Bristol and ending in Phoenix. And we made a deal, and they produced the whole thing. It was their broadcast, their graphics, their announcers, everything. But for us, it was a great opportunity to learn from a group that has done it well for well over a decade. How do they do it? The organization, the operations, the technical side, their talent, their meetings, their whole run of show, everything. It was 8 weeks for me to be there I wasn't there every week, but I probably went to 5 or 6 of the races from what I remember. And it was just great to get an understanding of the technical side, the operational side. And we had some excellent numbers. Their production and their cooperation was magnificent. I mean, we would not be where we are today without them. No question. That head start, getting our feet in there, learning without us really having to do much, right? There were things we had to do. Graphics, some graphic things, promotions, sales, all that. That's different. In terms of what you see on television, we learned so much that we were able to bring some of that knowledge to the table. And so since the season ended in Phoenix, we've been working with NASCAR Productions, who produces the races for us. So the difference between us and everybody else is NBC produces their own races on the Cup side. Fox produces the races on the Cup side. I believe NBC will help and produce the races for Amazon. And I believe Turner's on their own. They'll produce their own races. But for us, we don't have the corporate physical infrastructure to do what it takes to be able to do all these races and all the television that we do in the other sports. We don't have the infrastructure. So NASCAR Productions is producing it for us. But we still use the camera folks, the technical operations, and everything at the track every week through kind of a shared service partnership. But their team is producing the shows for us. And it's a little bit different. Everyone is at the track, the trucks are at the track and everything else, but everything comes back to the brand new NASCAR Production Center in Concord, North Carolina. And the show is cut through there. So talent's on site. You see Adam, you see Jamie and Parker, Tim and Dylan, and Carla on site. But all the pictures come back, and then we cut the show, we add graphics, and we do music and all the other stuff. It's just the way 21st century television's done in this age of very challenging economic times and efficiencies. So it's kind of the best of all worlds because our crew, the crew that works every week, they're not having to get on a plane every week. They can work out of Charlotte, do all the prep out of Charlotte, and it saves on, for their personal lives. It's really good for them because they're done. They get in the car and drive home. And so, but that should give all the listeners kind of a ballpark of like where we are.
And so the question for you then is, how long of a relationship, at least a contractual relationship, do you have with NASCAR to do the Xfinity Series?
So we are ours. The CW contract parallels the Cup contract in terms of years. So we have 7 years through the 2031 season, I believe. My counting is correct. And we have all the races, all 33. So that does give us a huge advantage. Everybody knows. I want to back up on the reason why we did what we did with NBC is we wanted to. It was like a marketing play for us. It was just an opportunity to make sure the fans could understand who we are. A lot of people have never heard of the CW before. Did not even know it's an over-the-air channel that's next to your Fox station or your CBS or your NBC station. And we needed to start building in this habit for viewers. You could go to your DVR, press a button, Xfinity Series, boom, every race is on. It just shows up, right? And if you're out and you got the kids, or you're out camping and you're going to come back home, or you just got busy, you're busy on Saturday, but you want to watch the race on Saturday night, you just recorded it because it's one button, right? And it's CW. And it's every week. We try to keep the times as as consistent as possible. It's hard because we've got other sports going on and that type of thing, but kind of a late afternoon window is our main thing. And in the fall, we'll have a lot of neck races towards the playoffs. So it was really a marketing play for people to be able to find us. And I think it's really worked.
I think the other part, I can tell you one of the, and I'm a pro NASCAR guy for sure. Sit on the NASCAR Foundation Board of Trustees, and but I listen to the fans, and one of the things the fans, as the TV piece of NASCAR has gotten, I guess we call it pieced up. The pie goes to different people. That's been one of the toughest things I think to overcome is to get some level of consistency where you can see it and what time it is. And you guys fixed all that with this move by coming into the sport, and that's huge to the fans. I mean, they love that, the ability to go, okay, yeah, maybe they have to learn who the CW network is, and I agree with you. I've heard people say, what does that mean? Where do you find that? And okay, so we're giving them instructions. But once they understand that that's the way it's going to be, and that's the only place they got to look for the Xfinity Series, it's phenomenal. It's just absolutely awesome. So we're thrilled. We're absolutely thrilled.
Yeah, like it's P's and Q's are the same. It's like you can go to the CW app, you can go to CWTV.com and watch it live every week. Like tonight or today, we're recording this on a Friday. We have P's and Q's from 5 to 7 Eastern Time. It's every week. It's going to be on the app for free. No sign up. Just press a button and you're in. You could download it and you just go. You just press the button and you watch. And then a CW TV for your computer, or your PC or your Apple computer, your Mac. Same thing. Press the button. Boom. It's all there, crystal clear HD, and available every week. And then in some markets, you guys are in the Orlando market, the CW affiliate has been airing P's and Q's. So we're airing P's and Q's on the CW affiliate in Orlando on this afternoon. Next week we have to skip over the air because of basketball commitment, but we are going to keep pushing this out and see what the locals are taking. We've had a lot of good feedback from the Charlotte market, Greenville and Spartanburg, so big NASCAR country. The local markets, we're really trying to regionalize this, where Austin and Houston are picking it up as well. So when we go to Phoenix, we're going to try to do the same thing. The Phoenix affiliate, Tucson affiliate, hopefully will take it. Or when we get to Las Vegas, the Las Vegas affiliate will take it. So it's a kind of a combination, but everybody should know, you go to your app every week for P's and Q's. You go to the CWTV.com every week, free, no signups, no nothing. Just press the button and watch. And we put it up social media, the times of all that stuff. So that's it's been a really good start as we kind of, again, just keep building every week.
Well, we're fortunate enough. We've carried one in-car camera so far. I think we've got 12 more throughout the season that we're going to do with you guys, and hopefully give the viewers a bird's eye view of what it's like to be in a race car. And we're thrilled, and thank you for providing some consistency, and obviously whatever we can do to help grow the viewership and promote the heck out of CW, we're in.
Great. Well, I have a question for you guys.
Uh-oh.
So
Okay.
what do you think?
And I got one more for you,
about,
Jason, when you get done. Go ahead.
Sure. What do you think about the bumper? So our score, our leaderboard, right? Our standings is on the bottom of the screen, horizontally. Well, I'm curious, as a focus group of two, what do you think about it?
I love it. You can read it and see what the heck's going on. It's big time. Go ahead, Randy.
No, I agree. I mean, so what I'm guilty of is watching the broadcast while I'm actually watching the race in person. So I get fortunate enough to be able to usually sit in a place where I could do both. And I think it's the clarity. I mean, meaning that it's you don't have to wonder. It's great. It's awesome. It's to me, I'm a little surprised at how good it is this early. I would have thought there'd be a little more trial and error, and right now I haven't seen too much error. It's all good.
Yeah, Jason, we have to see these races carefully every week in the 15 years we've been doing this program, and it is, like Randy just said, it's amazing how great a job you guys are doing already. This brings me to my next quick question, so we ran out of time. Number one, do you realize that your television broadcast is causing grown adults to jump up and down on furniture? And secondly, are you a NASCAR fan?
Well, first, I approve of that. Just be careful that you have insurance on your furniture. But the second part, so my NASCAR world is a little bit different than most. I would call myself a casual viewer. So I would jump in. I worked at Fox when we first got NASCAR back in 2000, and I was a feature producer. And I did a feature with Dale Jarrett at Mid Pines Golf Club. He flew in on his helicopter, and the idea was like, let's just play golf because I'm a golfer. And I said, let's go. I knew that Dale was a really good player. So, let's do an interview. It was just me. There was no other talent. I wasn't the talent. I was just really through his world, through his eyes. And I said, let's go play some golf. So he shows up at Mid Pines. We figured it out with Mid Pines. And he brings the helicopter. He drops it on the fairway. I forgot what hole it was. I think they put us on the fifth hole or sixth hole away from everybody. It was in the off-season, so it was cold, and not many people were out there. Comes on out. And we just started shooting, and he couldn't have been more delightful. So I did a couple of features. I did attend a number of events, but I wasn't working week to week on the product. But I've always been intrigued by the product. I'm a big sports fan, so I like big events. So I would always watch the 500. I'd always watch the Indianapolis 500. But am I watching week to week? No. But obviously, this is my job, and it's important for us to be involved in it, and you pick it up and you really start getting into it. And you get, it's not favorites, like you root for, like I'm rooting for the smaller teams because we know Allgaier and Hill and Jesse Love are going to be up top, and the Gibbs guys are going to be up top every week. We get that. I like to see the little guys because the last thing I want to say to you, the commitment that we put into this thing is different. It was really important for me, and when I was getting started with this thing last summer, I asked the NASCAR group to help us. So it was just myself and the production team, only about 4 or 5 of us. I wanted us to visit every single full-time team in North Carolina. And every other team that was outside, I know there's teams in Nashville and South Carolina and Georgia and Florida. Let's do Zooms with them. Let's spend some time. Let's meet them. Let's find out who they are, what their goals are, what their challenges are, what their story is. It was imperative for us to get an understanding of how different this series is from Cup. So we can go out and tell the story of this series differently. And that was really valuable because we got to understand them, learn them, meet them. Of course, obviously, you've had all these cars and drivers moving to different teams, but that wasn't the point. The point was we're here, and we want to work with you to lift your boat and to lift your team. So we're going to feature every full-time driver in the first 25 races. Every full-time driver is going to get some mention or love in a pre-race show or during the race, whether you are struggling from week to week or you're up top. But we've kind of figured out places where it fits just to feature them. Pre-race interview, make sure we show them in the show, make sure that we follow up. It's hard to do in a short race. All races are shorter. But it's incumbent on us. It was a promise from us that we're not going to forget about the guys who run in the middle and the guys who run in the back every week, because there's really interesting stories there. We're going to keep evolving that as we go, and it's challenging right now because we've got basketball and we could have games running into overtime and all that other stuff. But once we clear basketball, we're going to have defined windows and more clarity and more time, and we're really excited about doing that. And we're also going to hopefully have a couple more longer pre-race shows, Rockingham, possibly Talladega, certainly in the playoffs. So it's the storytelling of the drivers, of the teams, and of the characters in this sport, and specifically in this series, that we want to highlight. Because if you care about these guys, then you're going to want to watch every week. So we got to do our part, and that's kind of what I've been telling the production team at NASCAR. Like, we cannot stop doing this. We have to keep. When we think, we're going too much on the top guys, we got to pull back and make sure we're talking about the other guys, because there are 36 guys who win every week. So that's kind of philosophically where I am on this.
Well, that's going to make a big difference. There's no doubt about that. We're so proud that you're in the position you are in with your vast experience in sports broadcasting, and we sure do appreciate you taking the time to be with us, and we'll talk to you again very soon. Keep doing what you're doing. You're sure making us happy.
Appreciate the time, guys. Appreciate the time. Have a great weekend.
And with the checkered flag waving, we're wrapping up this week's edition of Trackside. Fear not, race fans, because we'll be back next week, proudly presented by Document Technologies. Tune in for a fresh new episode packed with engaging interviews, captivating conversations, and all the exhilarating moments you've come to expect. Until then, keep the racing spirit alive, and we'll see you next time on Trackside.